Hello, everybody, and merry me. This is your high priestess, Lady Lisa, calling, well, not calling, but saying hello out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It is going into Monday morning. I think it's about 2 something in the morning. It's one of those nights where I cannot sleep due to the fact that I was up casting all night with my coven sisters and going on vacation in the morning. So I'm trying to get everything packed and, on and on and on I could go. So let's get to the point. First of all, I want to say, hey, Lisa Danielson. Hello, my first and favorite stalker of all time. She's such an awesome stalker that she actually gave me my first thumbs down on 2 of my videos. And you know what? I thought at first I'd be pissed about that, but it kind of actually made me excited because I knew somebody actually watched my whole entire video. Enough to know that I had said something about giving a thumbs down. So even though, excuse me, Lisa, excuse me, you're corny for giving a thumbs down because you really know you like the video and you're a stalker. And she even had the audacity to comment below that I killed my father on June 6th when he passed away of cancer, lung cancer that spread to every organ in his body at 64 years old. So the sisters in my coven hexed her, a couple other witches on social media hexed her, and a couple witches on YouTube that seen the comment hexed her. I didn't have to do anything. They just read that comment after they've seen plenty of videos or they know me personally and what I had to endure and what I had to go through. And she's so hexed by so many powerful witches. You should have never said anything, sweetheart. You could have gave a thumbs down all you wanted. But come on now. To say something like that, come on. That's just foul. Now, the things that are happening to you are foul. See, prior to these hexes, she put on about 50 pounds, which I have photo screenshots of that, and looks about 92 from the prior hex. But she's hexed so many times by so many powerful witches. I don't care. She even goes on to pretend she's her husband who left her for her best friend Topaz and goes down there and acts like it's him saying, leave my wife alone. Huh? Leave your wife alone. Anyway, so hey Lise, how you doing? Maybe you gained another 60 pounds by now. Hope that tail between your legs grow a little bit bigger by now. It's probably hitting the floor swagging. And your negative comments at the bottom will be reported and blocked as usual. So anyway, I didn't do a lot of spells tonight. Thank goodness, because I'm kind of drained. But I did do some spells tonight for some clients. And like usual, as long as they abide by universal laws, they will be successful. So to be. So originally what I want to come on here and say to you guys is this is very, very, very important. I had a candle the other day. Now, usually if I have to get a candle and they don't have any other candles in stock and the wick is off-centered, if it's not so off-centered, I'm not even going to bother to even try to fix it, okay, if it's a little bit off-center, which I do know how to fix the wicks, okay? This candle that I had ordered, which, nothing against her, I'm going to keep ordering candles from her because sometimes I need a break. So I ordered them fixed and dressed, and I light them, and poof, everything happens. So I'm going to keep ordering. But this wick was like this far from touching the one side of the glass. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I know how to read candles. I specialize in that. So If there's any dark or any black on that one side of the candle, then I know why, because how close the wick is to the glass. And I'm like, the candle's small, and I'm really not in the mood to fix it. Like, I'm being lazy. I just want to light the sucker, right? Now I got all these other candles prior to this, lighting and flaming and dancing and shooting and popping and going on like crazy in the room, right? And then I light this sucker. Now the one prior to that, I had lit it at nighttime. By the time I woke up in the morning, it was done. It was done. I looked at my bank account. I had $200 that the bank could not account for. That quick. I still got the jar in my room. I never even threw the jar out. It's a little jar like this. It's only about that big. It's a money candle made by a voodoo priestess. So I ordered another one. So I got all these candles burning in there. I go and I put that one in there, and this one came with instructions. So I did my petition, and I lit it. So I go in the next morning to check on the candles, and I'm like, huh? Why is the flame so low on this candle? Like, it should have been done by now. This candle looks like it just got lit. I walk out of the room. That quick, I walk back in the room, my coven, for something, and the flame's out. No other flame on any other candle is out but this flame. Now, okay, I'm a psychic, a medium, a high priestess, natural born white witch, many generations. I do about everything in the world that you could think of besides Reiki or Reiki, however you want to pronounce it. Not interested in that. So all the candles are popping, and this just went out as soon as I left the coven and went back in about 10 minutes later. So I'm like, Dad, this is you, because you heard me talking about the candle to somebody. I left the coven. I go back in, the flame's out. So I know it didn't affect the magic, because nobody blew the flame out. Because if you blow the flame out of magic, you blew the magic away. Never ever blow a flame out, okay? If you need to put the flame out, if you have tough fingers like me, you could put it out like that, or a snuffer. I have a snuffer as well for when the flames are very low into the candle. When you have one of the big candles, you just go straight down with it, snuffing out. So I'm like, oh gosh. So let me email the voodoo priestess and let her know what's going on. So first she was like, well, maybe there's some interference, somebody's trying to stop the magic of the candle. And I said, well, no, because I got 2 reverse candles going, and they're looking really well. It just happened to be that, my dad heard me talking about this candle. So I went in, I relit the candle, and the flame immediately went very high and beautifully. So I'm laying here. It's about 7 o'clock. I have company. And we hear this smash, like, pshh. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, because my dad's been doing a lot of crazy things in here to get my attention. So I go in the coven. The thing popped, cracked, and put the petition on fire. But when I examined the glass, it actually broke right where the wick was, because the wick was so close to the glass that the flame was so hot that it cracked the glass. Now, see, usually if a candle breaks, that means the interference was so strong the candle is destroyed. But then again, it could also mean if you're doing the candle for yourself and not a client, if your emotional state is high, like mine was when I did these candles, and I did my candles due to my father passing, that can also put so much power and energy into the candle, it can have the candle crack. So what I'm advising you is, if you have a coven or you have a certain spot in your home where you like to keep your candles lit because you don't want anybody interfering with them, you don't want the flame to be popped out, you don't want anything of that sort or anything like that happening, you really, really, really want to snuff them flames out. Do not blow the flames out. If you blow the flames out, you blew the magic away. That is an absolute fact you will have to rework the candle, or perhaps redo the whole candle again. Snuff it out with your fingers or a snuffer. I'm talking about even if you go to the corner store, because if you don't know about Wicks, or you don't know how to fix Wicks, and they're not centered, or you went and did this spell and interference came along and the candle popped, or your emotional state was so high your powers made the candle pop, and all you did was walk to the corner store, it only takes 5 seconds to start a fire in your home and destroy your whole home. So it's better to be safe than sorry. Just take the flame and put it out. Don't blow it out, put it out. I gotta keep emphasizing on that. Do not blow it out, just put it out. And then come back right in and relight it until you have to go back out again. Do not take that chance. Thank you, Mother Universe. Thank you, Dad. Thank you to all my ancestors and all I call upon, that I was awake at the time when this happened and that I was able to catch it in time. Because I probably would have passed quicker from the smoke than I would have from the burning. So with that being said, I also want to come on and kind of say, this is ridiculous out here. These people, I don't mind getting the work. I really don't. One of my most favorite things in the world is spell casting. Well, bringing people through. But this hexing people stuff is crazy, man. It really is. It's got to stop. Just because you have powers to hex people, because I hex people. I do both, white and black, bad and good. But you have to get me to a point of no return for me to put a hex on you. And I'm not going to put the hex on you. I'm going to have one of my coven sisters put the hex on you so that you can't return it, because you'll never know who sent it. That's why my coven sisters stay on the down low. Let's see. That's why I just got to be a smart witch. But let me tell you something about my father. Last week, I was here alone, and I had my second dream of him. Now, he passed on June 6th at about 3:18 a.m. in the morning. So, the first dream, I couldn't really speak to him for some reason, because if you're emotionally blocked, if you have some regrets, or you have some sorrows, or I wish I coulda, shoulda, woulda, you can block yourself from receiving their signs. And when you're a medium, it's very, very hard to pull your own loved ones through, especially if you're blocked up. So when I had my second dream of him, I was laying right here, and he was sitting right across in my room on the chair, and he had light gray shorts on with a dark gray shirt with yellow writing on it, his white sneaks, white socks, and no hat on. Looked absolutely gorgeous and handsome. There was no defects on him, no nothing. So he's going through his wallet, and he goes across his bank card, and he was like, "You sucker." And I started laughing. And he's like, he started getting a little perturbed. And I was like, "Well, what's the matter?" He was like, "Well, why did you go in there and take that money? You knew, I gave you the code for a reason, for emergencies, but you knew I had some errands to run." And I said, "Dad, I needed that money for your cremation. You didn't have life insurance. You died suddenly. It was just me and some people that donated to your GoFundMe, Dad. Look up there. There's your urn. In there is you. That's your ashes." And my father started to cry. And he said, "I thought I was in a dream." He said, I said to him, "Well, when I was in the hospital, right before you passed, you were in your transition, going back and forth, did you hear me speaking to you?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Well, what happened? Tell me how it went." And he said, "Well, he was scared when he took his last breath. he seen nothing but darkness. And he was even more scared, which lets me know why there was sweat on his face when I gave him a kiss goodbye. There was actual sweat on his face. That's how I know he just must have took his last breath, because he was freezing, but he had sweat on his nose. He said he was in the darkness for a couple, I guess, seemed days. It wasn't days for me, so maybe it was days for him. And then he went into a beautiful light. And he was surrounded and greeted by many, many loved ones, including his wife, which is not my mother. I said, can you tell me anything about God? And he said, no, I can't tell you anything about God because I haven't seen or met God. So what that tells me as a medium is there is and still will be Judgment Day. Just because you cross over, there's 4 realms. Let me tell you the 4 realms, okay? There's heaven. There's a realm that the Catholics call purgatory. I see it as a realm where you just go to, and it's not evil, it's not ugly, it's not dark, it's not nasty. You're still able to communicate, you're just not able to go right to heaven. You're going to sit there to Judgment Day. And even when you go to heaven, you're going to still be judged. You're just made it to heaven. And then there's the 4th realm, and that's hell. That's a lower vibration that I've never contacted, and I don't want to contact anybody in that vibration. For me, as a medium, if you're deemed right to hell, then that means you're not going to be judged. You were already judged and went right to hell. For me, as a medium. Now, every medium reads different. Every medium sees things different. Every medium just reads different. Some may agree with me and some may not. That doesn't mean I'm wrong. That doesn't mean you're right. Doesn't mean you're wrong. Doesn't mean I'm right. We read and see things differently. So with that being said, nobody has seen God and nobody knows about God. Maybe a child. I have never contacted a child and brought a child through where they were able to tell me about God, but nor have I asked. But no adult who has passed over to the other realm has ever been able to tell me anything about God. See, when we pass over, people say it's dead or deceased. Dead is another name for an ending and a new beginning. When our loved ones pass over to the other realm, they're shedding their skin like a butterfly does a cocoon. Because our skin is really just a temple. It's our spirit that is the most important thing. So we just leave this skin and we go to another realm until we find somebody like myself or other mediums that we are able to communicate through. And then that's how we talk to our loved ones. So being my father passing away, and I'm able to communicate with him now, as I got plenty of footage of him going across my camera like this big giant angel with wings, so big that if the camera wasn't there, I would have been touched. He went by me last night as I was standing at the microwave making hot tea. A big orb went right between me and the microwave. He walks up and down the steps. His song plays every single time I get in the car. At Mercy, Mercy Me by Marvin Gaye, every single time I get in the car, he plays that song in Hotel California. Oh, goodness. But I love my father. I do. I love him. And I'm kind of jealous. I really am. For the first time in my life, I'm actually jealous about something. And I literally hate this world. I mean, I hate it with a passion. The people in this world are so nasty, so evil, so greedy, so envious, so jealous. And it's so beautiful on the other side. It's so serene, happiness, no feelings of regret, no sadness, no anger, no defects, no nothing. And it's kind of like, why couldn't that have been me? Like, why couldn't it have been my date? I don't want to be in this world anymore. No, I'm not talking about suicide or anything like that. You know, my date will come, but I don't want to be in this world anymore. I want to be in the other realm. I want to be where it's beautiful and peaceful and serene. I don't want to be in a witch battle all the time and, you know, loving somebody and not knowing when their date is, or knowing when their date is, and I don't want to face it or realize it. Anyway, going on 20 minutes, so I yapped away. So anyway, the real point of this video is to be very, very careful with your candle wicks, please. If you're going in a store or you're ordering your candles by bulk, like I'm getting ready to open my own store called the Salt Witch, I'm going to be making my own candles in the store, and the wicks are going to be as perfect as I can get them, being that I have OCD at the highest level. But if you go into a store, you buy your candles at bulk. Be very careful of the wicks. If you cannot or you do not know how to fix a wick, if it's not so close to the side of the candle and you want to take that chance, if you really know how to read the candle, then go ahead. But if the wick is so close to the side of the candle, you need to fix that wick or return it, because it's going to be no good, okay? You have to learn the difference between on how to read a candle, if it's for yourself or for a client. If the candle breaks, is it for yourself or for a client? Why did it break? You have to know all these things before you read a candle, especially to a client or even for yourself, because you can give false information, and that could damage the magic as well. So being a solitary witch for 42 years, I'm 43 now, just came out into social media about 8 months ago. You can always leave me a comment below. Anything pertaining to the magic world, outside the magic world, prior videos, this video, anything you would like me to teach in upcoming videos. If you give me a negative comment, you will be reported and blocked, and most likely one of my coven sisters will hex you if you leave something really nasty pertaining to my father or a family member. Anything else, we really can care less. You'll just get reported and blocked. You want to give a thumbs down because you have a thumb? You're corny and you know it. Clap your hands. Go ahead, Lisa. Give the thumbs down. We're waiting on you. She calls herself Baby Cakes. Well, now she's called Fat Cakes, because she's like really from 120 to about 160, 170, and a bunch of wrinkles on her forehead, and looks like more and more every day like a mouse. That was the hex that was put on her, to look like a mouse or a rat, because she was a rat, and to gain all that weight, and that's exactly what's happening to her. So we're waiting on your thumbs down, baby fats, and still praying. No, I'm not really praying for you. Let me take that back. Anyway, thank you for your thumbs down, Lisa Danielson McFeeders. And thank you for your archiving your group. All of a sudden, your group's archived after our last conversation. How ironic. And thank you for watching my videos and being my #1 stalker. I feel like a celebrity. Not just a psychic medium witch, but a celebrity. Yeah. And tell your Aunt Brenda her little doll is working just perfectly. I hope she picked out a perfect doll, the voodoo puppet, because if not, I picked one for and let one of my coven sisters deal with that as well. And that's for all the nasty things you said about my father when he just passed over. And that's what you're going to get when you say nasty things about my father or anybody that I love, especially when they just passed away. So you can always hit the subscribe button. You can always hit the bell button so you can get alerts when I come on. I may go live. I'm waiting to hit 333 viewers, and then I will go live for sure, absolutely. I got some surprises. I might have a special co-host. I'm getting my new book published by the new year or shortly after. I'm getting ready to open my new store called the Salt Witch, where we will be doing readings out of there and making and purchasing and selling every metaphysical item you can imagine. All my dreams are coming true due to Mother Universe, my good deeds, and my manifesting. And no, I don't believe in karma. Absolutely don't believe in karma at all. Just don't, you know. Life is life. It's what you do out there is what you do. Does not mean it comes back to you. If that was the case, I'd be a multi-millionaire if it came back to me. If there was karma. All these innocent people out here who die every day, and what they ever do to deserve for that, to get karma. No karma, man. Please. So with that being said, 26 minutes. I'm tired. Alright, so I'm going to head off. I'm going to try to get a quick nap in before I go on my 7-day vacation. And knowing me, I hate leaving. I hate packing up and I hate leaving. So I can already see me going right downstairs and booking another week, especially with the 4th of July, because I want to be down there with the fireworks. So, again, subscribe, bell button for alerts when I go on or go live. Any questions, feel free to ask me below. There's nothing that I will not answer. You cannot offend me. I can link my information to you. I do every spell imaginable. I am a master spellcaster. I also do private readings all around the world and parties for very, very reasonable donations that go to cancer foundations. I can read as long as you want. Any type of reading that you may want, I will definitely pull a loved one through for you, if not more than one, which it does drain me, but I can promise you at least one. And I can link my information below if you want to hex off, if you want to hex somebody, anything that you want. Again, any negative comments will be blocked and reported. If it has anything to do with my father's passing or somebody I may love, you're getting hexed. I'm telling you right now, and it won't be by me. So get ready for that one if you want to go ahead and test it. Put down something about my father or somebody that I love. I dare you to. With that being said, love and light. Peace out. Time to wake up soon. Coffee time, tea time, or you might already be drinking your coffee and your tea. Anyway, many blessings to you and protection. Angels, love and light. Peace out.